No, I can never get enough. Never get enough. I can never get enough. Never get enough. I can never get enough. I can never get enough. I can never get enough. But it's my boy life. I can never get enough. Never get enough. I can never get enough. Never get enough. I can never get enough. I can never get enough. I can never get enough. But it's my boy life. Right, welcome y'all. Welcome to Peep Game TV and Keeping It Real. Team collaboration. I'm your man Shadi Ali, aka SRD, with my man Jay Sean, aka Mr. F Love.
Yeah.
You know, we're glad all of you are here with us. We know you could have been anywhere. We're thankful that you came to be with us. You know, and I want to thank all of you who have purchased the book. We definitely appreciate it. You know, so for those of you who haven't purchased the book, go out and get the book. We'll appreciate you, my team and I. So, with that being said, you know, let's get to
How you feeling?
it. Excited, man. I'm excited. You know, actually.
You in the what is that though? You in the damn, what's that word for it? You in the first stretch now. You know,
Well, yeah. Well,
authorism.
yeah. Well, it just actually, you know, the 20th was the official release date. So
December 20th or
no,
January?
no. This the 20th of January was the official.
January 20th.
Right. So anybody who ordered, it was a pre-order. So
Mm,
the official release date was January 20th.
okay.
So this is like, you know, me in the new birth stage. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
Yeah, that's only today, only the 22nd.
Yeah, yeah. So the new birth, you know, looking forward and you know, striving to be creative to do what needs to be done to make it be, you know, what it's capable of being.
Yeah,
That's all.
I
You
hear
know.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, yeah. So we might as well get right into it, brother. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? I mean, last, you know, last week it was me. So I guess we start off with you.
Oh, okay. With me reading your question or you reading
Yeah,
mine?
yeah, yeah. You reading me.
Okay, what you guys talking about? We getting ready to start right now for the people on YouTube. Thanks for checking in. Silly and Helpy. We about to start right now.
Yeah, don't forget, pick your book up from Amazon or Barnes and Nobles if you already have it. If you did, thank you. My team and I appreciate you.
Near children or grandchildren labor. I don't know if a lot of people. I think maybe more in the past generations. I don't really know how people feel about this now, so that's what makes it a good question to ask. You know what I mean? Because we in the 2000s, 2020s. But what is the best age for parents to start requiring their children or grandchildren to reciprocate love?
Mm.
Tell me what reciprocate mean because I don't even.
Reciprocate is to give it back. You know
Okay.
what I mean? To show it back, to not just receive, but to give back.
Mm,
You know, and
okay.
so when it comes to, you know, and for me, love is more than just the word. There's actions behind that word, you know, and with the love, you know, a lot of times parents do things for their children basically because they love their children. So when you, I mean, people will, I remember my mom used to say sometimes she wouldn't eat to make sure we ate.
Hmm.
That's love.
Yeah.
That's a form of love where you put in the person you love before yourself.
Mm.
So when it comes to stuff like that, and parents sometimes put their bills aside to make sure their children is good.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm talking sometimes, they'll set themselves back for even grown children. So the question of, I think there's no particular age. However, as I would say, as a child reached their teens, I would think the parents should or the grandparents should require them to start showing that they love them by making sacrifices, by doing things for the parents or the grandparents that they may not want to do. Because nowadays, the way that I see it with a lot of young people, they want to do what they want to do.
Hmm.
It's not about, okay, this is something that is necessary for me to do, so I'm going to do what's necessary so that I can be able to do what I want. No, they want to do what they want, and then they want their parents or grandparents to take care of their necessities.
Hmm.
So this is why the question, I think, is so important, because at some point, we as parents and grandparents must require that it be reciprocated, that our children, even if our children start doing better and ask us less for stuff, you know what I mean? Like, sure, we want to help you. However, it's like we want to see them on their feet. We want to see them striving. We want to see them making sacrifices for their future, not requiring the parents or grandparents to make sacrifices for them, because especially once you hit, 21 or better, when you still, or if you're still in school and you're trying to, then that's different. But if you feel like, you want to be out here in this world and you want to do certain things that cost money, you know, you got your own little habits, such as like, okay, when someone turn 18 and they want to get their nails and hair done. Okay, you know, after a while, if you're not in school, you gotta try to, reciprocate. You gotta start trying to help the parents out. You know what I'm saying? Because, and the reason I say this, not out of cruelty, not out of, not wanting to help, it's out of building independence, building discipline. These are things that are necessary for our children. The topic is, Shoshana, is when is it a good time for you to require your children or your grandchildren to start reciprocating love? And when we say love, we mean, showing your parents and grandparents that you appreciate them. When is the best age to start doing that? I mean, when children, when they babies, they show you because they'll hug you, they'll kiss you. You know what I'm saying? So when they're babies, they already showing. It's the thing when they hit them teens and beyond, that's the ones where they start, like, to me, this is my personal opinion. A lot of times they start getting wanting more than they willing to put out. So I think as we as parents and grandparents, it's necessary for us to be mindful of how much we put out and how much we do, because especially I've seen, that sometimes parents are rewarding children because they love them, but not because they deserve it. When you have them when you reward them and they don't deserve it, what happens? You build a mentality for them to think that life is like that they could get, you know, what they want without having to put any skin in the game. So I would say at least, when they get to them teens, they need to start trying, striving to show or reciprocate love, discipline, respect, and things of that nature. What you think, brother?
Um, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about this one.
Okay.
Um, about requiring children or grandchildren to reciprocate love. I'm not really sure how you would exactly get a kid to do that. Um, my point of view, my opinion, uh, would be more like hands-on training. You know what I mean? You would be able to you would be able to know the love that the children or the grandchildren are giving you by their ways and actions. Um, before you have to require it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, some kids are touchy feely, like they hugging and affection. That sometimes I had daughters. I remember that starting like real young.
Right.
I mean, like 3, 2, 3, 4. Then I had other kids who I really didn't know it or feel it until, like you said, later years when they was teenagers. I don't know if I could have brought it out of them. Well, I probably could have brought it out of them earlier. I probably could have, or I could have pushed it back. From things I was doing or how I was living. But I I just think that it's something that comes with nature. It's like instinct. Like we all, like kids is born black and white. They don't know prejudice. When they born. I mean, you can put a black kid with a white kid. They just gonna play. They don't really. I'm talking about little kids. They don't really understand prejudice yet until it's they hear about us taught. I feel like love it's not similar to that. But that was an example, but love is the same thing. If a kid love you at 2, or if a kid love you at 3, or if a kid love you at 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, I just believe that it's gonna come out in their ways and actions. You know what I mean? Like the affection for you or the cuddling for you or something like that. So I don't really know when I would. I don't me personally. I don't know when I would require it. That's what I'm saying. I would more or less just hope that the love I give that I would get back from them, or I should get it back from them. And either way is right. So you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah. It's just a question of opinion, and
hmm
and maybe love, could be a different word, maybe, rather than love, it could be, when they require to show,
Affection.
yeah, affection, or showing that appreciation. You
Appreciation.
know what I'm saying? I think that would be a better word. When should they start showing appreciation?
Yeah,
Where they
yeah.
appreciate you. I think that's a better word than the love.
Or respect too. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's more likely, what I kind of meant, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, with
Oh,
the
okay.
love. Because when you love somebody, you do, you want to show appreciation, you do want to show respect. So I just
Yeah.
use the love to as the catalyst, but
Yeah.
to make it clear, yeah, appreciation, respect, consideration, those type of things. Those type of things that grown adults, some 50, 60 plus, have problems with.
No, but even with the word love, you still got a point, because think about the it's a bad term to use, but then when they say bastard kids and all that, but think about the kids that's not raised with you, like, what I mean, like you made a baby and then you left.
Right.
Think about that. That love is not gonna come all the time as fast as maybe a love that's in the house with you. Or it might turn the older they get, or vice versa. So, um, in a point like that, I could understand it more. You know what I mean? Because you never know what situation the kid or the grandkid is gonna be raised in, or or anything like that. You know what I mean? Uh, you might have to require love in a different way or sooner from a kid that you don't really is not in your household with you, or you didn't raise. You might have to show them, or you might have to help them
Oh,
understand, or something like that.
yeah. Well, a good point. I mean, definitely if the child is not in your home
Mm-hmm.
and you haven't been around the child,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be, then that's a whole different aspect. Then
Right.
it's required for you to
Right.
establish that love, to show that love, to show, that type of, because you aren't there. So
Right.
you want to try to show that, and then hopefully it be reciprocated back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah. So, and since we talking about love, you know, I mean, people equate the when you talk about God, God has the love that none of us, have. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he loves everybody, no matter what. So, with that being said, why do you think so many people believe in God but don't believe in organized religion?
That's a real ass question right there.
Absolutely.
Because so many people who preach. I know people myself personally that's always talking about God, but don't go to church.
Right.
Um, for example, people always saying, "Oh, it's hot in December." Oh, uh, uh, God said we know the times is something
The
with
time is
weather or
near.
something, or they'd be like, bless you, God, or thank you, God, or you know what I mean, or talking about what somebody else gonna do because I believe in God or something, but never been to a church or don't go to a church. They might have been there when they was young, but don't go there. So more than likely, it's so many people. Almost maybe 90%, 95, 90% of people claim they love God, but don't actually go to a church, a temple, a kingdom hall, a mosque. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't really know anymore. I don't really know if it's mandatory that you have to go to a church where it's organized, or organized religion anymore, because now they got this saying that they say uh church is everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's in your house. You know what I mean? Or you don't have to go to the church. I believe in God. Or do you have to believe? Do you have to go to, a mosque or something like that to really believe and serve God? I mean, like that's not a question really. That's like Murphy's law, catch 22. I don't know if it's really an answer to that, but it's a good question because nobody we will never know if it's okay just to say I believe in God, but I don't go to church. Or I believe in Allah, but I don't go to the mosque. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? uh,
Yeah.
I believe in Jehovah, but I don't go to the Kingdom Hall. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I mean, how we ever gonna know? I just believe that everybody should believe in something. I'm not saying that you gotta believe in God and stuff like that. I'm just saying that everybody should believe in something. Everybody that should believe in something that's more than what's going on this earth with us. Because how many questions is it that we can't answer? Uh, how did the world start? Or how did they say God? Where did God come from? Or He created Adam and Eve, but it's so many mysteries surrounding all that. You know what I mean? So I guess you could believe in God and not go to you know, his house, whatever
Uh,
they call it, whatever,
institution,
an
organized
institution. I guess you
religion
could,
institution.
but um, deep down inside, somewhere deep down inside, I would think that maybe you have to. You know, I don't know what it was telling me that, but something telling me that deep down inside, whatever religion that, because a Muslim, you might have to go here. Um, Farrakhan talk sometime. Sitting in your living room, maybe, you know what I mean? Or you might have to go to an institution sometime. Like, I don't know, just something telling me that in my mind, like that. It's okay to believe in God, but I think sometime you should go, and hear somebody else other than yourself talking to God. What about you?
I think it's an individual thing. I think, as you said, most people started off going to church or somewhere.
Hmm.
If they decided not to go, it must have been something within the congregation that caused them to feel uncomfortable going.
Right.
Because you got to remember, it's not the building, it's the people in the building.
Yeah.
If you connect with the people in the building, you'll have no problem going to either one.
Right.
If there's a disconnect with the people in the building, then you're going to say, "Well, I might as well stay home and connect with God." You know, you know, and then based on the religious beliefs, there's it says that we are going to be judged by ourselves, and based on what we know is truth, is factual. When we get in that casket, we by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it makes sense to build a personal connection with the higher power because you're going to have to deal with the higher power by yourself with nobody there to intercede, except they do say that, okay, Muhammad and Jesus going to intercede for the Muslims and the Christians. However, in both books, it still tells you that your ways and actions, especially in the Quran, that being righteous is what increase your connection to
Mm.
God. You know what I mean? By
Yeah.
treating people a certain way, by restraining and refraining from, you know, lustful acts, uh, you know, stealing, lying, backbiting, all of these certain type of things that a lot of people are religious, but they get caught up in a lot of those things, even
Mm-hmm.
those in church. So it's like, okay, how many of us really striving to walk that route, that religious route,
Mm-hmm.
uh, on a daily basis? See, for me, religion is nothing more than something that you do consistently.
Mm.
You know, you a person could be a crack addict, and that could be their religion because they smoke crack every day, and their God could be the crack.
Mm-hmm.
So we there's people who religion is making money, and that's their God. They look up to money.
Mm-hmm.
They worship money. They worship material things. So it's different types of things when it comes to that. How people be looking at situations and taking on situations when it comes to worshiping. You know, worshiping in a manner that is upright, worshiping in a manner that you become a beacon of light or the best example of a human being for other people to look at by the way that you display yourself, by the way that you refrain from certain activities, and by the way that your speech comes out and it goes inside with the way that you conduct yourself. You know, so yeah, so that's my view on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's up to us as the individual to connect in a manner because it says in the Quran that God is more closer to a man than his jugular vein. You know what I'm saying? So if he's that close to you, then God is inside you. And then I believe anytime you inhale in air, you inhale in God because what leaves you when a person is in the casket, they no longer have any breath.
Right.
They no longer have any energy. So that this our inner being is the most precious part. So that's the part that it's necessary for us to strive to keep pure as possible. So
Mm.
so that's my view.
Yeah. Um.
Hey, what's up, niece?
Uh. This is I guess right along the terms of things we have talked about before. I think, but a little with a little twist to it.
Okay.
But let's see how you feel about it. Can a person remain in love with their spouse or partner without any actions or changes from their spouse or partner? I got kind of confused. Break that down for me.
Okay. You can love a person, in my opinion, my view, you can love a person based on what y'all had in the past. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? That person has been there for you. That person has shown you that they love you several times. You know,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's now that built the love. It's like having a plant and watering that plant and giving that plant sunlight so
Mm,
that plant can grow. Now,
okay.
all of a sudden, the plant start growing. You take away the water, you take away the sunlight. So the plant has grown, but what's going to happen? Is it going to continue growing or will it start to wither away? So I'm saying that when it comes to love, to be in love requires consistent action from my point of view. You know what I mean? To remain in love is consistently, you consistently showing the person, making changes, putting forth effort, doing uh, kind gestures, or, to let this person know that I love you. I still love you. So by doing that, by watering, let's use that analogy, watering them and giving them that sunshine, what it does is I think it helps a person remain in love. You know what I mean? So they be in love. Once you start, how do you think, without a person being unfaithful, how do you think relationships end? The first thing people will say to you, even it is, they don't do what they used to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing come out of their mouth. They don't do what they used to do. He used to do this. She used to do that. She don't do that no more. So they love them, but they're not in love because they're not being watered and they're not getting that sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I say when it comes to that, yeah, you can love a person, but if the actions is not shown, you won't remain in love with them.
Mm-hmm.
Actions will change that. You know what I mean? That's my view. Somebody else, what's yours?
Um, I think it got to be some changes, and in order for somebody to remain in love with somebody, I'm assuming after something went left, maybe, or someone remained in love with the spouse or partner without any actions or changes from that person. I'm assuming that something happened and the person didn't change 100% for the better, right?
I mean, that could be, or it could be they just stop basically showing up.
Oh,
They,
so okay,
they,
I got you.
they may not even did anything, but just stop showing up.
I got you. If some if someone remains in love with someone who ain't doing the same things they was doing before, or treating them the way they was treating them before, or loving on them the way they was loving them before, then I don't think they remaining in love. I, it's something I used to always tell females. Well, I used to tell people, if somebody back in the days, if somebody would tell me I used them, I used to tell people, you know when somebody using you, and you know when somebody loving you. Don't you know when somebody love you? A lot of people pretend like they don't know, but you know when somebody care about you. I don't care what nobody say, and you know when people don't care about you. when people short tempered and short fused and conversation is short and don't want to be touched and all that, you know when somebody care about you. Just like if somebody using you for money and you giving them money, and you know what I mean, and when you giving them money, they all over you, they affectionate and they spending time with you, and then they leave, and then when it's time for more money, they coming back and they you know they you know when somebody care about you, man. I hate when people say, "Oh, you used me." I hate that because nobody can't use nobody. You know when you being used. If you don't, then you blocked it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or
You was in denial.
you was in denial. That's the word right there. You hit it right in the nose. You in denial big time. Because you know when you know when somebody care about you. I'm big on that right there. I tell somebody in a minute, you don't care about me. Nah, you don't care about me. I know when somebody care about me. You know what I mean? So I don't think I could remain in love with somebody um, without certain changes from them. If the changes wasn't for the better. Um, if I'm answering the question right.
I mean, yeah. I mean that you answering it based on how you see it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So there's no right or wrong answer. I
Yeah.
mean that yeah, based on what you're saying is if to remain in love, there's necessary for there to be some action to keep you
Yeah.
in love.
Cause you know when somebody care about you. Like I hate people who pretend like they don't know that. Like well, you should know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like some people. I mean, I don't know. You could beat a dog and he still care about you, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know. You know, so I don't know. Maybe some people is I don't know. You know when somebody care about you. That's all I gotta
Yeah, but
say.
I know I remember Just used to say you either you can be used or you useless. You know what I'm saying? So 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 the thing so when he say that I hear it as like everybody be used for something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's true. That's
We
true.
all use people for something. It's just a matter if okay, you utilizing me, I'm utilizing you. In relationships, we utilizing each other for something that we either want, we missing, or you know what I mean. So we utilizing the person to give us that, and
Yeah.
we're in return giving them something. So that's how the love even becomes to be love because
Hmm.
two people are using each other and they're both benefiting from the usage of each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So if you're being used and you're not you saying, oh well, I'm just being used and I'm not getting nothing out the deal, you know, yeah, then you being useless.
That's a good one.
Now, back in the day when it came to marriage, there were very few divorces. Parents used to stay together. You know, I guess because the marriage back then they said to death do you part. So and they took that vow seriously. So with that being said, why do you think our grandparents stayed, married so many years, but most of this generation can't do it?
Now, a lot of ladies ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. but it's facts. And I'm not saying that the ladies of today gotta adhere to that or adhere to that. But if the average person, if you think about our grandparents, they stayed together 20, 30, 40 years, grandma and grandpa. Most of that is because grandma knew how to what? Cook, took care of the house, took care of the kids, satisfied a man, and what? And had a blind eye to a lot of things. I'll say it like that. Kept quiet. They kept a blind eye. It ain't like our grandfathers wasn't doing nothing. They was doing the same thing that the men's doing today. Think about it. Our grandfathers or fathers, whatever, was doing the same thing from the 50s and the fathers is doing today. The difference is the women. A lot of people ain't gonna agree, but I know it's right. And I'm not saying that was good. I'm just saying that our grandmothers, they knew what it took to make their relationships work. So if they kept their mouth closed, that don't mean they was stupid. No, that don't mean they was a slave. That don't mean that they was being submissive. That just mean that was the way it was. But it worked because our grandparents, everybody know your grandma and your grandfather stayed together forever. When you met them, when we met our grandparents, they was already old as hell. We probably was 9, 10, 8, you know. But if you think about it, most of the time grandparents stayed together. And I believe it was because of the grandma. I remember my father mother. She got up early as hell when we used to go down south 2 weeks every summer. 2 weeks we used to go down there every summer. She would get up in the morning. I maybe was 7, 8 years old. I'd be up. She'd take me with her outside. I was from the city, so it was fun to me. She'd go and take me in the chicken coop, little chicken house,
Yeah.
and get the eggs from under the chickens. You know what I mean? And come in the house. They probably had killed the pig or something. But anyway, she would start off early in the morning. She didn't work. They didn't work. The grandmothers, they didn't work back then.
Well, that was their work.
Well, that
Their
was
job was a housewife. That was
yeah,
their
that was
job.
their work. I don't want ladies to get mad when you say that. Yeah, that was their work.
Yeah.
So she would go and she would take me with her. She would go, she would get the eggs from the chicken coop, move the chicken and take the eggs. I didn't even know that, and a lot of people probably don't even know that. Do you know that chickens have eggs every 24 hours? Hens have like 4 to 7 eggs a week. Every week, every 24 hours, a hen is having an egg. I never knew that till recently.
Oh, okay. I didn't either. That's
Yeah,
something new for me.
hens have eggs every 24 to 48 hour. A hen lays an egg, and they have about 4 to 7 to 4 to 8 eggs a week. A hen. Yeah, I didn't even know that. And they do that for years. I guess that's about so many eggs in the world. If you think about a lady, a hen is having a egg every 24 hours. I guess that's why so many eggs. But anyway, she would take me out there. She would get the eggs. Boom. Come in the house. It's like maybe 5 or 6 in the morning. Make breakfast for my grandfather, you know what I mean, and for everybody. When we was down there, cook breakfast. We would have breakfast. My grandfather would go whatever doing what he was doing, working and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And she would stay around the house and do whatever. He would come home. She would have the food done. You know what I mean? And that just was the ritual because back then the grandfather word was like that was God's word. You know what I mean? Now whether the grandmothers liked it or not, they listened to it. You know what I mean? And they put up with a lot. Not saying that the women have to do that now. I'm just telling you what happened then. So I believe that's what the difference is and why the divorce rate is like it is now because the ladies today are not the ladies of then. And I'm not saying they supposed to be. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that's why our grandparents and parents was together 20 and 30 and 40 years, and marriages today last 2 and 4 and 5 and 6 years, with the exception of people, who like you or people who've been together for a long time. You know what I mean? What you think about that?
I think you made some valid points, um, especially because I've heard older women from my mom's and grandmother's generation, just say that men were going to be men,
Right.
so uh, infidelity was tolerated.
Yeah.
It was tolerated. You know what I'm saying? Now it's taboo. It's taboo, and the other the other aspect that you brought up, the other point you brought up is women were housewives. Now women are working. In
Mm-hmm.
most situations, or in a lot of situations, women are making more than the men. So now the tables have switched.
Mm-hmm.
Now woman saying, she come if you may be making 30,000 and she making 100,000 or 150,000, she telling you, well, I work too. So what are you telling me? Like I can if you leave tomorrow, I can take care of myself. So the mentality has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so now men also some of their mentality changed. Because back then a man would meet a woman who had multiple children
Mm-hmm.
and marry her and take care of them children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nowadays, cats running from that. A lot of cats running from that. You got multiple children, they'll smash you. They'll come hang out with you. They ain't really trying to pay too much attention to them children. They may bring a little food over every now and then, but they not trying to help raise them children. So it changed in both aspects when it comes to that. You know what I mean? So yeah, um, it's definitely different when it comes to the marriage and remaining married from then and now.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I thought that was a good
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely a insightful question because it's definitely something that we all face. We all
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Okay, let me see. What ain't no way to break this down? This is a simple question. Do you think that is belief the same as truth?
Let me go at it from this way. Most children in America either believed in the tooth fairy, Santa Claus, or the Easter Bunny. As they got older, they found out that wasn't true. So, with that being said, no, belief is not actually truth. It's just something that you believe in. It's something that was passed down from generations, most times to other generations, and many times individuals take it on without even trying to dissect it or find out whether it's true or not. No, what you call it, research. They're doing no research to, okay, let me see if what I believe is actually true.
Right.
And the sad part about it is, even let's go back to religion. We believe a lot of things that some of it we don't really know if it's true. We just believe it. We read it, we believe it's true.
Yep.
There's not like it's you could go to, like when you talk about, you know, different individuals in the Bible and in the Quran, where are their grave sites at? You know what I'm saying? Can you go to their grave site and say, oh, this is where such and such was buried, you know? Or this this town is where such and such was born. We don't really know. We just believe. We just believe that, based on years of being taught, told, and convinced, we believe. So per- personally, the truth is the truth, and belief is something different.
Mm.
You know, the truth can be proven. If you're telling the truth, all right, today you could say there's 24 hours in a day. You can prove that. You can count each hour each day. There's 7 days in a week. You can count each day, you know? So when the truth can be proven, belief is not necessarily proven. There's not really proof. You just say, well, I believe because that's what it says, So no, they're not the same thing. What's your thoughts?
Um, I don't think that I agree with you. I don't think that belief could be the truth because I mean you could believe a lot of things. You know what I mean? It don't actually mean that it's the truth. It's just what you believe. And nobody really takes time to do research or on something. Not everything you believe in this world, even though you got a strong belief, it still ain't gonna make it. That it's still not gonna mean that it has to be the truth. Um, it's probably gonna be the truth in your eyes. You know what I mean? Because you believe something, so it's gonna be the truth in your eyes. But to be the actual truth or something like that, I don't believe that they the same. But they not far apart. It's a thin line.
Yeah, well, because the emotional connection behind it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? If a person really believes something, there's really no way that you can convince them that it's
Mm-hmm.
not true. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
believe it with all their heart and soul. So, as far as they're concerned, it's the truth. It doesn't matter whether it's the truth, but they believe it. So, so I come to the realization if somebody believes something hard enough, then they're entitled to that. I'm going to let them believe what they want to believe. I'm, just don't try to force your belief on me.
Right.
That's all that is. All right, we getting to the last question, man. We
Oh,
haven't done this in a while.
I know.
You know. Okay. And you were saying earlier, if something happened in a relationship or whatever, or and this is any relationship. If trust is broken, okay, can trust fully be restored after betrayal?
Um, I would like to say it can be, and it should be, but I'm a firm believer in people knowing what they do when they do something. You know what I mean? Like if I'm cheating on a woman, I know I'm cheating. You cheating, but you just not trying to get caught. Um, what's the percentage of you thinking about if you get caught, how much it's gonna hurt her? You know what I mean? How many people think about that? If I get caught cheating, how much it's gonna hurt my wife or my woman? I don't think people take that into perspective when they cheating on each other. How much is really actually gonna hurt the other person? We always go back and forth about that. I think too, in a different kind of way though, because I think um, I always say if you really cared about somebody, you wouldn't want to hurt them. You know what I mean? So if you hurt somebody, then you want them to get over it, or you want to put a time limit on it. I really don't know if you could. Um, should it take a lifetime? I mean, I don't think so. I think that I think that it shouldn't take a lifetime, and I don't think it should be done forgiving quick. I think that you would know when you know. You know what I mean? Both parties. Um, you would know when it's time to get over betrayal, and the person that betrayed you, they know when you get over betrayal. So I don't really, that's a real question that goes that's in everyday living and everyday life, and I don't really know if I could answer that truthfully. Well, I mean, I can answer it truthfully. I don't really think I could forgive somebody who cheated on me. Um, I'm not gonna say I would leave them or hate them or not stay in a relationship with them. I probably would, but I just don't think the trust would be. I don't think the trust would ever be the same. And maybe it should. Maybe it should. Maybe every people deserve second chances. We all human. We all make mistakes. I guess it's up to the individual. You know what I mean? I don't know. What you think?
Yeah, I definitely believe it's up to the individual. And I think some people can forgive, some people won't be able to
That's
forgive.
true. That's it right there.
You know,
Yeah.
and And even for the people who do forgive, it doesn't mean that they're going to forget it.
Right.
So, so yeah, and you made the point of, okay, once you portray a person or you hurt a person, how long should it take for them to heal or
Right.
to come back from it? As long as it takes for them. You know, that's the reality. That's the
Yeah,
reality, However, being the person who have caused the pain, you also have a choice too. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You continue, you do all you can to make it right, and then you have a choice to say, okay, I see that I'm not going to be able to make this right.
That's true.
Then you can walk away, or they can walk away. So I think the worst thing is when the trust is broken and you're trying to repair it, but you don't see any results. And now you're suffering just as much as the person that you betrayed,
That's true too. That's a good point.
you know? So now you got two people suffering.
Yeah,
So where's the relationship really going when both people are suffering, both people are in pain? So with that being said, is it healthy to remain in the relationship, or is it healthier to just dissolve it?
and I got another. I don't mean to cut you
Go
off, but
ahead.
think about this. What about the people who cheat and never got caught?
Well, I mean,
What's their punishment?
I
What's
mean,
their
theirs is to know that they didn't get caught. I mean, if it
what
depends
about
on
the
their
people who what
conscience.
about the people who lay with people every night and cheating and the person don't know, or have cheated and the person don't know?
I mean, if the relationship is good, then the relationship is good. If they're happy, you know what I mean? That
Nah,
it
I don't.
because the thing is, the old saying,
What?
what people don't know don't hurt them. You
Yeah,
remember we used to say that back in the day. That we used to hear that all the time. What the person don't know won't hurt them. But that was a punchline. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
And you think about it, certain things, if you don't know it, like you can see it, like even with like a child, like say a child fall and skin their knee, you pick them up, you brush their knee off, they good until they look down and they see it's bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna start crying. So it's like, what a person, and by no means am I saying whether it's right or wrong,
yeah,
because this goes back to what we were saying. Belief. A person belief. If a person belief says, look, long as the person don't know that I cheated, I'm good, then that's their belief. They're gonna be comfortable with it. It's not
yeah.
gonna bother them, you know? But if a person has believed that, okay, anything that's done in the dark come to the light, then they're not going to be comfortable with it.
Right.
So that's a double edged sword when it comes to that. Depends on the individuals and who they are and how they what their belief system is like. And that's the thing when it comes to belief systems. Everybody belief system has some differences,
Yeah.
so but
Don't cheat, everybody. Don't cheat.
I mean, at this point, at the age we're at now, at the experience we have, I truly believe that you better off just saying, look, I don't want nothing serious. You know what I mean? You better off saying that. You better off saying, look, I don't want nothing serious. I'm not ready to be committed. So
Yeah.
don't try to get me to commit because I'm not ready to commit. I don't
I
want to commit.
I second that emotion, that notion.
Yeah, and because I think that would save a lot of angry people,
It
people
would.
in pain. You know what I'm saying? And I think it would reestablish a closeness between men and women again.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because now you're giving the woman a choice, and she's giving you a choice. Because
So,
I think that, now that I'm old, I realize that when you lying to somebody, you actually take away their choice. And I remember back in the day, Michael Baisden from the radio station used to say that, when you lie to a woman, you take away her choice because you lied to her. You
mm,
didn't tell her, look, I want multiple women. I'm seeing multiple women. Now she got a choice to say, well, I could deal with that or I can't.
I'm gonna tell you something real fast. I almost believe it's gonna be like that in the future.
For what? Everybody gonna be open with it?
There's gonna be things gonna be more open. Where a guy just meet a girl and he be like, "Yo, I just, when they meet, be like, I love you, but like I want to see multiple women." I believe it's gonna, and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, at this point, why continue to do something that's not working? If it's not working, you got to try something different. I was watching a video before we go with Neo.
Oh,
Neo
he
got
funny. He funny as hell.
you see he got three chicks.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so he like, yo, he didn't got honest with it. You know what I mean? Said after his marriage, he's like, I'm not lying no more. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be straight up. So now he found three women that's comfortable with the situation. So
Yeah,
now he don't gotta lie. And he
and
don't gotta cheat.
that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at him, man.
Not me
But
either.
let the people know where they can see you tomorrow at, brother.
Oh yeah, I'll be on Facebook Live and TikTok at J Sean 763 about 10. I always say 9:30, but I don't come on to about quarter to 10 or 10 o'clock. The late night. But I'll be back on it. Last week it was crazy, man. It was so crazy. I was gonna put out some short videos of it, but it was too raw. I had a white woman arguing with a black woman about black
She
men
don't she
why
don't do
black
blow. She don't do blows.
no about why black men are moving over to the white women.
What? Oh boy, I know that was heated.
It was shy. It was heated. It was off the chains, man. I still got to record it. I'm gonna play it one day, but it was off the chains. She was telling the black girl, the black lady, like, stop arguing with your man and stop acting like his mother and learn how to cook and do this. That's why your man is over here, and man, black men, they don't want to have sex with their mother, and stop saying you thick. That's you not thick, you fat. And yo, it was crazy.
She
Y'all
was
black.
going in.
She was the white lady. The white lady was going in. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all black women, y'all say y'all thick, but you not thick. You fat. Like it was. Yo, it was. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow night if they come back. But I'm just. It was
Man,
all.
she was keeping it raw, dog.
She was.
I know
She.
that. I know she was driving them nuts, boy. They
Yeah. And
wish
she.
they could pull her through that
That's what.
doggone
That's what the
street.
black chick was. The black chick had wanted to take it to blows or something like
Of
that.
course, of
She
course,
got
she wanted
heated.
me to like let's meet up somewhere.
Like, yo, that's why your black men is over here. You know what I mean? Like, stop doing this and stop. It was crazy. it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It really was crazy, man. I thought they was gonna cut it off the way they was going at it, you know, but TikTok let it run.
So that
And
that's that's
face
that's that's entertainment.
Yeah, the algorithm was going crazy because the black chick, she was on Facebook and the white chick was on TikTok, but they could hear each other. And
Oh, okay.
it was okay for a minute, and then I don't know what happened. It just went left.
Well, once she went there and started telling her what her supposedly men want, that's it. Then she lost her mind
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
just and I'm gonna tell you, I mean, she had some valid points, but it ain't for me to say. You know, what I mean, I just was refereeing it, but
Right, right. Use the neutral party.
I was refereeing it. You know, I'm a journalist, I'm a podcaster, but
Yeah, but I
I don't know
mean,
if they're gonna come back tomorrow. But last it's white girl one, black girl nothing right now. So we see what happened tomorrow.
okay, she went in on it.
She went in. She went in. She went in. She really
All
did.
right. Thank y'all for taking this time to spend with us on this January 22nd. We know you could have been anywhere. We're thankful that took the time to spend with us, and for that, we're grateful. So, till next week, we wish you love, peace, and prosperity.
Peace. Everybody be safe.